Hey there, if you're into jaw-dropping stories, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become part of our little storytelling family. Let's dive in. I knew the moment I kissed Jeremy in that hotel elevator, I had just set off a bomb in my own life. It wasn't about passion. It wasn't love. It was ego, wine, and a stupid sense of being untouchable. I was in another city for work, far away from the stable, quiet life I'd built with Eric, my kind, steady boyfriend of 3 years. I truly believed I'd left the mistake behind in Chicago. But the past has a cruel habit of finding you when you least expect it. It all started at a business conference. My boss, Monica, had invited me and 3 others from the marketing team to attend a 3-day leadership summit. She told me I'd been performing exceptionally and wanted me to represent the company. I was flattered.
Proud.
Eric was excited too. He packed my favorite snacks for the flight and sent me cheesy motivational texts the whole way there. I remember thinking, I don't deserve someone this perfect. I was right, just not in the way I thought. Chicago felt electric. The city buzzed with energy. The hotel was luxurious, and the attendees were all polished professionals who looked like they belonged on the cover of business magazines. Jeremy was one of the keynote speakers, a branding expert with razor-sharp wit and the kind of presence that could silence an entire room. We met at a networking event. I was sipping an overpriced fruity drink at the bar when he struck up a conversation. At first, it was all small talk, impressions of the conference, shared connections, industry gossip. Then the conversation turned flirtatious, and I didn't stop it. I kept telling myself it was harmless. But there was a moment, a joke, a hand brushing against my arm, and something shifted. My loyalty to Eric began to fracture. Jeremy made me feel like I was the only person in a room full of stars. And I hated how much I liked it. That night, drinks turned into dinner, and dinner turned into late-night cocktails in the hotel lounge. Then came the elevator.
We didn't speak.
We didn't need to. Everything unspoken between us ignited in those few floors. I kissed him, and then I led him into my room. The next morning, I avoided him completely. I skipped his session and ignored his messages. Shame hit fast and hard. I flew home convinced that if I buried it deep enough, it would disappear. Eric was waiting for me at the airport with flowers. I nearly cried. For 2 months, I lived in a quiet panic. Every time my phone buzzed, I thought it was Jeremy. Every time Eric said, "I love you," something inside me flinched. I overcompensated, being more attentive, more affectionate, trying to cover up the damage. But guilt doesn't wash off. It stains. Then came the party. A casual Saturday night get-together hosted by one of Eric's old college friends. I almost skipped it, told him I was tired, had work. But he insisted. "It'll be fun," he said, wrapping his arms around me. "You've been so tense lately. Come relax." I wish I'd stayed home. The house was packed. I clung to Eric's arm, trying to fake ease. We floated through groups, chatting, laughing, sipping wine. And then I heard a voice. Jeremy's voice. I turned, and there he was, deep in conversation with a man I recognized from Eric's stories, his friend, Alex. Time slowed.
Jeremy saw me.
His eyebrows lifted, but his face stayed smooth, controlled, as if he weren't seconds from destroying my entire life. Eric was already walking toward them. "Hey Alex, what's up, man?" They hugged. Alex turned to Jeremy. "This is Jeremy, the guy I told you about who started his own agency from scratch. Total legend." I felt sick. Jeremy extended a hand to Eric, smiling. "And who's this?" he asked, eyes flicking to me with a flash of cruel amusement. "This is my girlfriend, Ava," Eric said proudly. There was a pause, just long enough for me to feel the ground give way beneath me. "Pleasure to meet you, Ava," Jeremy replied, cool and polite, like a slap disguised as a handshake. He didn't say anything else. He didn't need to. I spent the rest of the night drowning in thoughts. Did he know Eric was my boyfriend when we slept together? Was he going to tell him? I locked myself in the bathroom and stared at my reflection for 20 minutes. I didn't recognize the woman looking back. By the time I came out, Jeremy was gone. But the damage had already started. 2 days later, Monica called me into her office. She looked puzzled, almost concerned. I had an interesting call today, she said, folding her hands. Jeremy Langston reached out. He wants to collaborate on a branding initiative and specifically requested that you be on the team. My blood ran cold. He said you two worked closely during the conference, she added. But from what I remember, you barely crossed paths, right? I nodded slowly, heart hammering. She leaned back.
Studied me.
Is there anything I should know, Ava? I shook my head and lied. Again. That night, I sat on the edge of our bed while Eric brushed his teeth. I wanted to confess. The truth was pushing against my throat, but I was terrified of losing him, of becoming the villain in our story. Then fate did it for me. The next weekend, I came home from errands and found Eric in the living room, holding his phone, jaw clenched tight. He didn't say a word, just held the phone out. It was a screenshot. A photo of Jeremy and me in the hotel lobby. Timestamped. Forwarded from Jeremy to Alex, with a simple caption. Small world.
Didn't know she was taken.
Eric didn't yell.
He didn't cry.
He just looked at me like I was a stranger standing in our home. How long? He asked. I tried to explain, to apologize, justify, beg. None of it mattered. I saw the exact moment trust shattered in his eyes. He packed a bag that night. I haven't seen him since. Now I still go to work. Still smile at Monica. Still lead meetings like my life isn't in ruins. But everything feels off. Like I'm watching someone pretend to be me. I cheated during a work trip and thought I could just move on. But then my past showed up at a party, shook hands with my future, and everything collapsed. I don't blame Jeremy.
He didn't owe me anything.
The truth is, I destroyed my own life the moment I let those elevator doors close.